Hey, what's up my crypto fans? So in today's video, we're going to be looking at Xlm and how I've been consistently taking profits from Xlm over the last 2.5 months. Yes, you would have seen my last video how I was accumulating Xlm for the bear market, but that was my long-term investment. Now I've been asked, how do you get the money to reinvest in the bear market in order to get them bull market gains? Well, if you want to know all that cool stuff and more, stay tuned and let's go crypto. What up? So for those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Christian and this is Crypto OG, where I'll give you all the news, reviews and overviews in the crypto, DeFi, yes, and sometimes NFT space. And the mandatory waffle of anything you see, hear or choose to ignore, especially on today's trading video, is not financial advice. It is just me being nice. So now we've gone through the T's and C's, before I jump into the chart and tell you exactly how I'm doing the trading and also a nice sneak peek of what a trading journal looks like, let's just have a look at the crypto market as a whole. Boom. So here you can see the crypto market is doing really well. We're up to 1.16 trillion. Now the previous high over the last few months has been 1.12 trillion, and we even dropped below 1 trillion to 960 billion. So to see it at this levels is absolutely phenomenal. And we're up 1.79 today. Now we know, anyone that's in the crypto space will know, this is largely down to Bitcoin floating in these high 27 marks and doing this massive pump, because previously Bitcoin was well lagging down well below the 25k mark, and Ethereum, where we were looking to get that up to the 1600, is now trading at 1700. So the crypto market is doing pretty nice as a whole. Now we also know that this is back on the back of the banks collapsing and the actual financial real world, the fiat world or the dog shite world, is absolutely having a tank of a time. Now quickly I'll just show you XRP, kind of Xlm's big brother, is doing pretty okay as well. It's up to 0.3 and it's just really following Bitcoin. So that's the crypto market as a whole. Before we jump straight into the chart, let me just show you a quick view of a trading journal, because it's really important to have a plan when you do trading and track your trade. Boom. So here you can see is just the main base template. My trading journal looks a bit different to this because I've got all my tokens on here, but this is the base template I used. Here you can see you've got your trade 1, 2, 3 and 4. You've got your entry date, which is date you got into the trade. You've got the ticker. The ticker is like Xlm for Stella and BTC for Bitcoin, etc. The quantity that you did, to say for instance you bought through 1,000 tokens, the price you brought them at, the entry price you went in at, and the exit date you come out at, and the exit price. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's really important to do this because you need to track your profit and losses, and you need to also look at how you can do better in the next trades. Here it'll tell you the profit and losses, and I also like to put the amount of days I'm in the trade, because as you'll see the way I do my trading in a moment is that sometimes you're in the trades 4, 5, 6, 7, even a week sometimes, waiting for that nice 10 to 15% pump. Here you've got the kind of strategy if you're doing day trading, if you're doing kind of what I'm doing, which is pivot or swing trading and scalping off the bottoms and tops. And that for me is a kind of rewarding slow momentum. It's not as risky as day trading, but it still carries some high risk. And the evaluation is the comment: did you win? Did you bail out early? Did the market crash on you? Just a little bit of win and loss and an evaluation on the trade. This might seem a bit overkill, but if you're really serious about making money, like I use this to make, you know, it's part of my income. So I use this to literally top up my income. So I need to be really serious about it. And also I keep a little tab at the bottom, which you can't see at the moment because my big fat head's in the way. And just a little bit of education if it's my trading page links, or I use Trading View, and it has a lot of cool education on there. So that's the boring bit out of the way. Thank you for staying this long. We're going to get onto the cool bit now, but before we do that, if you could hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, tickle that bell notification, I would really appreciate it. So now you've done that, let's jump straight into the chart. I'll just show you some of the simple methods I've been taking some profits off Xlm over the last 2.5 months. Boom. So here you can see the chart. This is Xlm token. Now I will go through quickly with you about this. Doesn't matter if you're doing 10,000 like me or if you're doing $10. This works on whatever your risk appetite is with money. But let me just tell you how I consistently take profits off this, and it's not rocket science. And I'll also tell you what a lot of YouTubers won't, is a caveat to what happens if it crashes or goes down. So here I'd seen Xlm in December was on an absolute fire sale. Now everyone that will agree with me, all of crypto was super down. Bitcoin was touching about $15,000, $16,000. So it was your time to set yourself up in your trading market. And Xlm was one of them tokens that was really, really undervalued. And I knew Xlm had pumped. Now a lot of people are saying Xlm was dead because of the XRP and blah, blah, but that was all just a load of dog shit. And I'll prove it to you in the charts, because stats and facts don't lie, that Xlm is a token that you can invest in the long run, but also make money in the short term. So here I got in. Now, the reason I've got my arrow here is because you never get in at the bottom. When it fell in here, I did buy a lot for long-term investment. This is why I think I'm going to make a 5x. But when I seen that Xlm was kind of hitting these resistance levels here, which is now the support, I thought it's worth day trading. So when I saw Xlm hit these kind of resistance levels here, I thought it's worth just putting in kind of like a pivot trade, a swing trade, and see how this plays out. So what I did is I waited for it to break resistance, which it did. Then I waited for it to come back down and retest. Now this retest to me happened too quick. I'll tell you the truth. I got in on this token here, which was Monday the 9th of January. I wasn't really trading over the weekend, and obviously Monday the 9th of January it went down. So I got in at this level here, which was 0.07. Now if we just get this pump here, I trade in 10% or 20%, and I trade in trading channels. So I've got my bottom, I've got my middle, and I've got my top, and this will become very, very apparent to you. So what happened is I put the trade in here and I auto do a sellout here on Binance. So I set a marker for around roughly about 0.084, but as soon as it touches that, my trade cashes out. The reason I put an auto trader in is because it takes out the emotion. I don't try and stay in the trade too long, and I don't try and stay in the trade too short. So what happened is I hit it here and it pumped all the way up here and it hit my marker, which was around about 12.89%. But I got, looking at my trading chart here, I got 12.7%. Now, if you want to know what kind of values I was putting in, I put $2,000 in this token. So 12.7%, I ended up with $2,254. So what happened is it went higher, of course. Knowing my luck, it went higher because it went into my next trading channel, but that doesn't matter to me. All that did is now it took this from resistance to support. So when this started crashing down, I thought, oh, hello, it's a fake out. It's going to come back down to these levels, and obviously I'll get in the trade again. But it didn't. What it did is it went back down and retested the support, now is resistance. It retested it and came back down. So obviously this wasn't a candle for me to get in, because the retest had only just happened, because I needed to make sure that we had a green candle here and the volatility wasn't there. It came in with some good volume, which you can't see on the screen here. So the day after, I did, like I say, normally I don't trade on the weekends, but the day after I got in, and that's why you've got a green entry point here, because my trading charts are linked to my account. And obviously I got in at this level here, which is 0.085. Now remember, I've already got a little bit of profit on my last 2,000, so I'm trading with a different amount now. So this then pumped, and obviously what happened is it went up to the next resistance level, which was 11.3%. Now if you want to know quickly about these kind of support, mid and top, the reason I got this is all of this kind of volatility down here was where the main action was. So I thought that's a good support level. The mid range, because it's breaking out, was all of this. Remember at the time, I didn't know about all of this stuff. So you can imagine all of this kind of stuff here was not on the chart. So all of this had gone. So we only had these kind of candles. So I took it all from this range here. This was a good mid range where all of these had been stopping, all of these have been hitting. So this was my good mid range, which absolutely played out perfectly. You can see how we can predict the market, because that mid range was put in before all of this price chart action happened. But anyway, so we shot up here and I got an 11%. Now this is where I had to wait in the market. I'll tell you why a little bit, because I auto cashed out here and I was waiting for it to either break this resistance or go back down to support and we'll get in the trade again. But it didn't. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, nearly 2 weeks before we seen any momentum. And after the second week, we knew with the volume all being in red and the things going down, we were going down to test this mid-range level, and we did. So what we needed to do is wait for it to hit the support on the mid-range level, break the support and either continue down or retest, break back through to resistance and pump higher again. So yes, that's exactly what it did here. You've got this kind of hammer candle. It broke the mid-range, went back up into the kind of higher ranges, and we got a back test here. Now, once we got this back test, you guessed it, that was my time to get in the market. So you can see why a lot of traders, when they're saying they buy here and they sell there, no trader gets the bottom exactly. No trader sells at the top exactly. You've got to trade in your ranges. So that's why I got in this candle here, and it pumped up and we auto sold out here. So yes, again, another 10.25%. So I've still got my original investment and I'm $764 up. Yes, that might not get you a Lambo, but at the time it was beating the S&P 500 by, I think, literally 40%. So any trader in his right mind would have took this. But you guessed it, what happened again? And no sooner as I'd sold out the trade, we got a rejection and we fell. And when we fell to here, I thought, you know what? Obviously, we'd had it twice here. I thought, third time lucky, we're going to do the same thing again. So I was waiting for it to go down. Remember, this is exactly why, and I'm glad this happened on XLM, is why we do a back test, because here we wait for it to go through there, back test up, we go in on the second up candle. Here, back test down, go in again, up on the second candle. Here, back test down, it didn't go up. So therefore, we didn't get in the trade because there was no back test on the second candle. So it continued dropping and dropping and dropping. And guess where it dropped to? It dropped to the sweet spot zone, which was we class as the bottom, the kind of cherry zone where you buy up for your investment. So yes, I put my money in to buy up, but thinking we would stay at these bottom ranges quite a while. So now I'm buying in thinking I'll have to wait till it goes up, but I was only literally waiting a day. I put the money in. I also dollar costed averaged in a bit, not much, but I added a bit to my kind of investment XLM pot. And then what happened? Wallop, we went back to the races again, all the way up there, giving me another 13.3%. Now you'll see here it's always higher and it's always lower than where I get in, because I only trade to my trading channel lines, and I'll tell you exactly why in a second. Now here's my profit and losses. I open profit and losses with the greens, and obviously these are the losses if we go down, if I was day trading. But let me just do a Fibonacci tracement, and I do a simple one. I just do a 0, a 0.5 and a 1. So if I put the Fibonacci at the top there as number 1, and I bring my mid-range down there and the bottom range, you can see it hits perfectly. You see my trading range hits perfectly, and these Fibonacci levels are really playing out. You can see the 1, 0.5 and the 0 there. Now anyone that does Fibonacci will know that these are kind of key levels, kind of golden levels, and this has played out to exactly that. So this is why I used it. This is why I've been taking pumps. It's broke through, it's come back down, it's back tested again, and as you can see, my auto trades are kicked in. Well, my trade setups are kicked in, and I literally put my money in again, ready to go up. Now let me just tell you before you go off trying to earn a load of money on this, and I'm just going to delete that, is what happens then if it goes up and it doesn't hit that, and your money's in, or it goes up and it starts crashing back down. What happens is these are daily candles, so you've got plenty of time to look at your trade. So what I do is when I get to the kind of halfway range, or just anything you judge, what you want to do is set a sell in your kind of arsenal to say, when it goes down, I'll sell at this level here. So you can always sell it here and be break even. You'll have plenty of time to see it going down and down, like here or here it went down, and you could just wait for it to get to there, break even, and wait for a better setup in the trade. Now I do have other coins that I'm going to show you. Ape coins are one I always buy. Here you can see where my sweet spot is, my buy zone. You can see the sweet spot's been in there for a long time, and I've been consistently taking 10% off this for a long time. You can see 27% is my mid-range, and when it breaks through my mid-range, I'm earning probably another 26%. So you can see I've already hit another 25% on that. Tron, I do the same. I buy down this level here. I wait for it to get to my mid-range, which is another 14%, and then I'm back in again, waiting for it to get to the top ranges. And again with VRA, exactly the same thing. You can see my buy zones, my dollar cost average zones, my sweet spot zones, and last but not least is HTR. Again, you've got my little trading channel, my sweet spots. I'm just showing these extra tokens just to show you that I'm not BSing, I'm not bullshitting you. This is genuine stuff. You can see it's not rocket science. If you're smart and you just do them 10, and don't be greedy, do them 10 little pumps. I've made over, in the last 2.5 months, on each one of them tokens, I've made a minimum of 1,000. So in 2.5 months, we're probably looking at around about just roughly shy of 5,500 with my original 10,000 back. So I'm 50% up on average in 2.5 months. So can you imagine every 2.5 months you're doing 50% of your pot in less riskier trades just by trading these little support and resistance channels. And if the market's going against you, sell out a break even. If it's not, just keep sticking to that plan and your trading journal, and you can't go far wrong. But the reason I wanted to show you again was XLM, because XLM was an absolute gem, and I'm just going to go on there one more time just to show you how much of an absolute gem it was. If you can see here, it literally gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in 2.5 months where I could have put more money in, I could have put less money in, but that's how you take money out of XLM. And if we do have a pullback down and a trace back to all the way here, just buy more XLM to bolster your profits, because that XLM will do a pump. So in my opinion, it was a no-brainer. I know there's been a little bit of FUD recently out there about XLM's going to die because of XRP and that, blah blah, but I don't believe any of that. So I hope you found this video super informative. I hope you still think XLM's a no-brainer and you can make money in the short term as well as the long term. And as always, on Crypto OG, trade smart, trade safe, and don't get wrecked.